Welcome to the Trenton Circus Squad. I'm Zoe Brooks, the Executive Director, and I'm here to ask for your support. The mission of the Trenton Circus Squad is to create civic engagement and service learning through the laughter and fun of circus arts. We train young people to perform and share clowning and circus skills with diverse communities, with the goal of improving their lives and those of others. We strongly believe that, as Booker T. Washington said, if you want to lift yourself up, you need to lift someone else up. The circus ring provides the perfect setting for the work of helping others. The circus is welcoming, supportive, and inclusive. Learning circus skills like juggling, acrobatics, stilt walking, human pyramids, and more presents physical challenges, but in an atmosphere of emotional safety. Circus increases self-esteem, teaches leadership skills, and builds community. It brings a lot of fun and laughter, and perhaps most importantly, a sense of belonging to all who join in, regardless of who they are. Now, last summer, we set out to run a 2-week pilot in Trenton, and we spent a lot of time laying groundwork, visiting other organisations, handing out flyers, recruiting kids. And we got to the first day, and we learned a lot. Day one, just 5 kids showed up. Just 2 of them are the result of all of our outreach efforts in Trenton. So we were a little panicked, but Chris Marchetti from Homefront told us to be patient and let the word of mouth do its job. Of course, he was right. By the end of the first week, 16 kids had showed up. And over the 2 weeks, we connected with Homefront, Catholic Youth Organisation, and the Boys and Girls Club, so that by the end of 2 weeks, we looked like this. In all, in 2 weeks, we served 300 children in workshops and put on 3 shows in different venues in the community. And we got a lot of great feedback asking us to return year-round. I just want to share a little anecdote about one student. This is Kayla, and she joined us last summer. She was very shy and quiet and reluctant to speak up. And for the first 4 days, she just watched. And then, near the end of the time that Kayla was with us, she began to try things. In the end, she tried everything. In the circus, kids have the opportunity to learn in their own way, to apply themselves with dedication to learning skills that excite them, and then to achieve something that they didn't think that they could do. And this is Kayla learning to ride the unicycle early in January of this year. Another thing that we're very proud of in the pilot is the connections that the youth make with those that we entertain. And this is a picture of the kids working in a nursing home last summer. Our entertainment often reaches those who can't get to shows and things themselves. So in the Trenton Circus Squad, the youth who join us will get to connect with kids they wouldn't otherwise have met. They'll learn technical skills, but also leadership, coaching, and team building skills. And most importantly, they'll use these skills to provide a service to others in nursing homes, senior centres, community events, summer camps, and more. They will be lifting themselves up by lifting others up. Based on last summer's success, we're now planning and raising funds for a year-round programme starting in July 2015. For the last 7 months, Tom and I have been creating the Trenton Circus Squad. We are fortunate to have an amazing group of individuals on our board. We have James Burke, June Millington, who is our secretary, Carter Patterson, and John Erickson, who's our treasurer. With the assistance of City Hall, we'll be back at the Roebling Wireworks, pictured here, for the summer. And we're working with the City of Trenton and some private landlords to find premises for the fall. Right now, the Roebling Wireworks doesn't have heat in it, so we'll need to find somewhere warmer come September. Let me tell you a little bit about the programme model for the Trenton Circus Squad. In the summertime, this is based on 2-week service projects, and during the school year, we'll run 3 12-week service projects. The core group of kids who will perform with us will be 11 to 16, half of them from Trenton and half from other towns. We bring them together, we teach them circus skills, and we create a performance. The squad then performs at senior centres, hospitals, community events, city parks, Trenton Thunder Games, and they run classes and workshops for younger students. Older youth, ages 17 to 24, will get training to become leaders and ultimately paid instructors. We'll work closely with other youth serving organisations to help bring more kids into the circus. And finally, we plan to keep participation free, supported by donors and parents and sponsors where appropriate. So far we've focused on Trenton, and that is where we start. We expect to take 3 years to grow to scale in Trenton, with about 50 youth committed to serving at any one time, engaging about 1,000 youth each year in workshops and reaching audiences of somewhere between 3,000 to 5,000. But we would like to see this spread to other places within 5 years. Strong candidates to expand the work we're doing would be in Camden, Paterson, on the Jersey Shore, Newark. And we see this model going beyond. We could see a regional model basing operations in cities such as Philadelphia, New Haven, Bridgeport, Baltimore, where there are already communities of skilled adults interested in helping more youth engaged in circus. One bit of exciting news is that the American Youth Circus Organization just announced plans to create and grow a national network of circuses that have social change at the centre of their mission, with some seed support from Cirque du Soleil. I actually will be providing the strategic oversight for this work, and so that will give the squad a chance to remain closely connected with the project. But for now, back to the next 3 years and Trenton. We'll be building up the number of service hours by squad members during that time, starting at about 15,000 in the first year, heading up towards 60,000 by year 3. Over this period, we'll grow the number of kids engaged in workshops and the audiences for our performances, reaching somewhere like 5,000 by year 3. So, how do we plan to pay for all this? This table shows the sources of funding that we're planning to seek and the phases of the operation. So in the startup phase, you can see that we have $35,000 already committed by a private donor, which is allowing us to do the work we're doing now. In year 1, we already have $25,000 committed, and we're seeking most of the rest from private donors. We expect to be able to get foundation support once we have a full summer season behind us, and so that $95,000 represents hoped-for grants starting in late 2015. And we will also begin to solicit donations from the parents and sponsors of participating youth. As the years go on, we will reduce our reliance on private donors, from 135,000 down to 70,000 in the steady state. And foundation support we expect to increase over years 2 and 3, and then decrease over time as we build support from parents and sponsors. And sponsoring organisations may be youth-serving organisations, maybe private schools, other schools in the area that have an interest in funding service projects, including higher education institutions. So over time, for the first 3 years, we need to raise $1.25 million, and we anticipate a fully grown organisation based in Trenton having an annual budget of about $500,000. And by that time, it'll be time to start elsewhere. This next slide just provides a graphic illustration of our funding source plan. The white shows money we've already raised, the yellow, the private donations that we're seeking in this launch period. The orange is our plans for foundation support, and then you see the red here is the parent and sponsor support that we will drive to fill in as we grow the program. This purple box here is a space allocated for an annual event. By the time we've had a large number of children through the program, you can bet that we'll be able to put on a really good show and sell some tickets. Now, before I close, I want to emphasise that this is far more than an after-school activity. This is really a big-scale, colourful, fun-loving service project that will engage an entire community. Trenton Circus Squad will have a triple impact: on the youth who join the squad, on isolated communities in senior centres, hospitals, detention centres, where people crave connections with the outside world, and on the children and families of Trenton, affecting the community as a whole as they enjoy performances and workshops that we offer. The Trenton Circus Squad will judge its success by the choices that our squad members make, to take on challenges, to help others, to work hard and to lead. and our accompanying fact sheet shows a little more about the outcomes that we're expecting. We're not aiming to create professional circus performers, but we might. And I just want to share a personal story from Melvin Diggs. I met Melvin in 2009 when he was a teenager with Circus Harmony, a circus with a social mission in St. Louis, and friends of ours. Today, Melvin is touring with the Seven Fingers troupe, Les Sept Doigts de la Main, from Canada. And as I speak, he's out in Russia performing in Cuisine and Confessions. I asked Melvin to tell me about what circus meant to him. And with apologies for my accent, I'll read some of what he said to me. He said, "Circus didn't change my life. It actually saved it. Circus opened my eyes to a whole new way of thinking and seeing life because where I'm from, there isn't much to look forward to. So the majority of time, you don't think that there is anything more to life but surviving and doing anything you have to in order to make that happen, which ultimately leads to a life of violence and drugs. I say that personally because it was the only direction I could see myself going, given my surroundings and what I was witnessing every day. But since I've joined the circus, I've become a man with dreams bigger than what I was introduced to as a child within the small city I grew up in. Right now, in this current moment, I'm living those dreams. Please, help us raise $180,000 towards our first year's operations. Thank you, and we'll see you down the road.